what if the oven tends to make a clicking noise? I'm getting this from people searching this, so it could just be maybe we touch on the heat going onto the metal expanding, that type of thing, or potentially maybe more of an electrical noise.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely with the clicking, the metal inside the cavity heating and cooling, especially if it's kind of like a quieter clicking, and you could almost imagine like when you've been driving for a long time and you get out of your car sometimes,
Mm.
you'll hear that. If it's similar to that, that's
Yeah.
really nothing to worry about. That's fine. Some are a little worse than others. It just depends on how they manufacture it as far as the thickness of the metal, the everything used. If you hear more of a kind of a sharp, louder clicking, one thing that it could be is if your oven has a self clean option, it means it has a door lock. If your oven does not have a self clean option, it won't have a door lock. Most door locks nowadays are basically a little motor that spins in a circle and has a hook on the outside. The other function of that lock is it has switches on it that tells the control board what position it's in. So that's why when you do a self clean, you'll hear kind of a buzz, you'll hear a click, and then it'll display that it's locked. So when those go bad sometimes, it doesn't know what position it's in. And so it may just keep slowly spinning, trying to find out. You will typically get an error code with it, but if it sounds like it's coming from there and you put your ear up to where that little latch is sticking out, then most likely it's going to be that door lock that's causing that clicking. If you hear a loud clicking and it almost sounds like a fan, maybe that's hitting something, if it's a really fast clicking
Mm.
like that, most ovens have a cooling fan. And the purpose of this is to take the hot air in between the cavity or above the cavity where your sensitive electronics are mounted and to push that hot air out. So it's not pulling air from inside the cavity, it's just outside from the back, from everywhere else, venting it out. Those do go bad. That's a semi common issue. Most of the time, it's really just an annoyance as far as noise. If you're not getting any error codes, your oven isn't shutting down because it's getting too hot and you don't mind living with it, that may be an option because for a technician to come out and repair that between parts and labor, it starts at $400. Depending on the
Right.
difficulty, up to $600 to $700, depending on the price of the fan. That repair, if you could find a YouTube video of a similar model to yours, some of them are fairly simple. Some of them, you pull the oven out, you take 10 screws, the back cover comes off, the fan's right there, four more screws, and you can change it. Some are a lot more complicated on how they've installed them. So you have to get your eyes on that and see if it's something you're comfortable with if you're doing that yourself.
Yeah, definitely good to sort of to classify this as one of those it's fine, live with it, it's just going to be annoying, or you can go into looking at repairs and things. And just to touch on if it is the self cleaning door motor as well, is that quite complicated to access in general?
So that's another one where it depends. On some ovens, it's literally you'll see the screws right there in the front. You open the door, and two screws, the thing just pulls out. The wires are long enough you could change it. And
Mm.
some of them, you've got to remove the whole oven. You've got to remove a few covers. You've got to set aside wiring harnesses. Some of them are a nightmare. So it's really just a roll of the dice on which one you're going to have. So again, if you could find a video, something similar, or even pull it out, take the top cover off and look and see if it's right there, then it's an easy repair if you can get to it easily.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely worth knowing. I guess that explains the mysterious clicking noise.